again, just a quick review. We're going to go into entries later, but just to review the choke, I bring my arm in as deep as possible. My hand is on his shoulder, and my elbow's about at his chin, okay? A lot of people have their elbows here to the side and try to crank the guillotine like that. You can get a tap like that, but it's really inefficient and requires a lot of arm and upper body power. If I do it like this, yeah, this is already not comfortable for you, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm not doing anything. I've just taken the position, and now I come onto my back, bring one knee to his back to block him from going to the side. Yeah, this is even worse now, isn't it? And I'm still not choking him yet. And then I just bring my hips in a little, and then the tap comes, and I'm doing like 5%. That's nothing. I could go a lot harder if I wanted to. So that's what I mean when I say a mechanically efficient choke. I have 90% of my choke just from the position, and that last 5 to 10% is with the hips, really easy, and I have a lot of extra motion. Okay?
Okay.
So, choke everyone. So, next step in the class for today, we're going to start going into entries, and since we're in body position, I always like, it's kind of becoming my philosophy personally that each belt kind of has its focus point. So for me, like up to blue belt, I think the focus should be bottom position. Of course, you should know how to pass and everything, but like you should be really good at guard, sweeps, escapes from like side control and everything. So to work on things like that, we're going to add a side control escape onto this. So my opponent has me in the side control. Yeah, okay, so what I need to do first is get out of this, obviously. So one thing I'm going to recommend to you in your side control, bring this hip further in. No, because I can do that. You don't want that. Bring that leg closer to my hip. Yeah, that's right. Because the first thing he does not want is for me to be able to frame with this arm. Go ahead, put your hips where they were. Okay, so if you're in side control like this, I can really easily get this arm in, and now I already have my first frame. And I can now use this, and I've got my knee in. And he does not want that. He wants to make it as hard for me as possible to get that arm in. So that's why he's going to bring his knee very close to my head. Yeah, now I'm not getting this arm easy, especially when he has a good crossface like this. Now I have to work, okay? So the first thing we want to do is to get rid of the crossface a bit. So the first thing, I grab nice and deep on this shoulder, okay? So like wrist deep. I'm not just doing like this, because that's going to slide off. Grabbing in deep as I can, putting my feet on the ground, and I'm going to bridge in this direction and use that to pull his shoulder off me. So from here, and now I've got the crossface out, and I use that to sleeve my hand in. So now I have my first frame. And now, with this frame, I've got this nice big hole here, and I use that to get my second frame in. Now, if you, go ahead, now when he's trying to put pressure on me, I have a nice frame, and this is taking the edge off of a lot of this. So, back up a bit and let's go to the side, because I want to be able to make sure we get this in the video. So, from here, okay, what I want to do is, again, I want to move my hips out and at the same time use my frame to keep him from smashing into me. And to do that, I want to point my elbow kind of in this direction. I'm not pushing like this, because this is my triceps against his whole body. If I have a really good bench press, yeah, but especially if you start having people who are heavier than you, this is going to be a problem. What I want to do instead is I keep a nice bend in my arms, and instead I use my body position to point my elbow away. And I can do that a lot more easily because I'm using my whole body weight against it. From here, I can shrimp out and bring my legs in. Okay? And so from here, don't move around, just let me do it. From here, I start getting my butterfly hooks, pushing away, and that's where we go into our choke. So, final move, I put a hand on the back of his head, post, face to the ground. And now I can go for my guillotine. And everything else from here is just like what we did with the guillotine. Okay? I'll show the whole sequence one more time because I realize it's a lot of steps at once. It's actually a lot simpler to do when you're actually doing it. It's just when you're explaining it, oh, you have to do this and put your arm here. It sounds really, really complicated. Trust me, it's not physics. Well, it is physics, but it's not hard physics. Okay, so yeah, he's got this nice side control. Yeah, exactly. And just as a note, when you're the guy taking a side control, get your best side control you can, okay? Don't just think, oh, I'm letting him practice so I can be nice and I don't have to do stuff. Get a nice, good side control, make him work to get out. So, first frame, second frame, feet on the ground, bridge in this direction, and elbow up. Okay? Notice I'm pushing against the face with the elbow and not doing this. Okay? Shrimp out, come in. Right here I actually have enough distance to just go straight into the butterfly hooks. From here, lift, hand on the head, bring his face down, guillotine. Okay? So, everyone works together, I'll come around and correct everyone. So, I think the escape is starting to look good, so I want to add a sweep on top of that. Yeah. So, just adding a little element on top just to get, again, mastery of bottom position. Okay, so we're going to start here, and I'm going to pull him into me. I have one overhook, one underhook, okay? And I'm in a butterfly guard. I've got both hooks in, okay? So, and this is a pretty easy sweep. It's just a simple hook sweep. I think everyone's probably seen some variation of this. I can bring one leg to the ground. The one with the underhook is the hook I keep in. And I essentially just roll onto the side, clenching his arm in so he can't post, and I can immediately go into side control. And from here, he does his escape. Yeah, exactly. And we just go through the whole chain again. So everything else stays the same. Side control, escape, snap down, guillotine. We're just adding this on this side. Okay, so again, we're here. With this arm, I'm going in for an underhook. The same side, I have a hook in. This arm, I clinch in and have an overhook and make sure it stays nice and tight on my body. And now it's just rolling on my side and kicking with my hooked leg. Going into a nice side control. And now he does the rest of the chain after that. So side control, escape, and guillotine. One quick point. I saw a couple of people doing this with their side control. Note where your head is, okay? I've seen a lot of people coming over here and like doing this with their head in the side control. It feels like you're getting a nice, strong cross face with this. The problem is bridge really strong in that direction. He can roll you over when you do that. You don't have as much weight in the back, and it makes it easy for him to roll over. I always like my little anchor point. I always try to keep my head on this shoulder when I'm side controlling someone. So if I come in, I like to keep my temple on the shoulder. Now try to bridge me that way. No way. Yeah. Yeah. And again, we're about the same weight and same size. I think Jan's a little stronger than I am. If I were a lot smaller than Jan and had my head over here, he would have no problem just tossing me over on the other side. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have seen that with some of the bigger guys in training if you do that. So they just roll you over, no problem. Okay, so like I said, anchor point, your temple on the shoulder. Okay? So, sweep. Okay, just a quick recap for the whole chain. So what we practiced here was, again, I get my sweep, control, side control, then he does his escape. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. And he uses that as an entry to the guillotine. we have any major questions about it. So what I want to do now is go over to some submission escape sparring, 4 rounds of that, then 4 rounds of positional escape sparring with the side control, and then we'll just go to free sparring, okay?